Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Mr. Yugindra, can I start the session?
Yes, sir. Please start the session.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So in yesterday's session, we have seen the introduction to HANA, what is an in-memory DB, what are column-oriented databases, and what is massive parallel processing, and the general data flow, and what are source systems, how many ways we can do data provisioning, like using SLT for real-time, business objects for batch processing, it is rich in transformation of data, DXC to get or to bypass BW systems to HANA, and smart data access to access data from third-party systems. So in today's system, we'll see in the system how we can access the SAP HANA landscape. So if you see in our landscape, once you log on to the remote desktop, so click on Start and type in MSTSC. Click on MSTSC, and then the IP address is 122.175.39.11. So once you enter the IP address and then click Connect, so every participant will have a unique user ID and password. So you need to enter the user ID and password. So once we enter the user ID and password, now we connect to the remote desktop connection. And this is the IP address 122.175.39.11. So once you enter to the remote desktop connection, let me open a notepad. Let me open a Paint. So in here, like yesterday, we have ECC as a source system. And in order to log into the ECC stands for Enterprise Core Component or Enterprise Central Component. In order to log into the ECC, we have the username. So we all share the same username and password. Only the remote desktop connection to enter to the system is different. But once we are inside the remote desktop, or once we are inside the IP address, so once we are inside the remote desktop, then all the usernames and passwords that I'm trying to show you now are same. We all share the same usernames and passwords. The username for ECC is Surya. The password is S capital URYA 1234. So this is the username and password for ECC. So let me show you just to log in. So click on Start, click on All Program, and then click SAP Frontend and click SAP Logon. So once you click SAP Logon, then here you would see ECC. Double click on the ECC. So provide the username and password. The username is Surya and the password is S capital URYA 1234 and click enter. So once you click enter, now you're on the SAP Easy Access screen. So this is the first screen that you see. And just to check tables on the ECC side, enter the transaction code S11. So S11 is a code that we enter in SAP system to view tables. Click enter. So you can see the dictionary. Enter any table, VBAK. This is the standard table in SAP. Just to view tables, just enter the table and click display. So if you want to see the contents of the tables, what contents are available inside the table. So now it shows the what columns that this table has. If you want to see data, click contents and click execute. So you would see all the sales related data in this table, which is VBAK. So this is all the dummy data that is provided by SAP for practice purpose. So we'll use this data in HANA. So I'm just trying to show you on how we can log on to the ECC. And the username for ECC is Surya and password is SCapitalURYA1234. Now we also have a non-SAP system, which is MS SQL. So we'll use MS SQL system in order to do data models using non-SAP or to provision data using non-SAP system. So in those use cases, we will use this system. The username for this system, you can use DB200 and the password is DB200. So we all share the same usernames and password. So DB200 and the password is DB200. In order to log in onto the MS SQL, click Start, click All Program, click Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2 and click SQL Server Management Studio. So this is the UI. For ECC, in order to log into the ECC, we have SAP GUI. So we use the SAP GUI. This is the UI for ECC. So this is the UI, SAP logon, and this is the SAP GUI for ECC. And to log on to the MS SQL, the GUI, so go to Microsoft SQL Server 2008, and this is the UI, SQL Server Management Studio. So click on SQL Server Management Studio. So server name is client. Provide the login. Login is DB200 and the password DB200 and click connect. Now we are able to connect to the Microsoft SQL Server. So these are the usernames and passwords for MS SQL. Now coming to the target system, which is HANA. At HANA is a target system. So to log on to HANA, the username, HANA user, the password is W capital welcome 1234. In welcome 1234, W is the capital letter. So let me show you how to log into HANA. So to log into HANA, click Start, click All Program, click SAP HANA and click SAP HANA Studio. SAP HANA Studio is the UI to log into HANA. So click SAP HANA Studio. So once we click SAP HANA Studio, so here you see a system which is added. Once you expand the system, you would see catalog, content. Catalog is a collection of schema, and content is a collection of packages. So all these things we'll see in tomorrow's session. So in today, what I'm going to show you now, let me disconnect this. If you want to disconnect, because I already logged in, right click on the system and click log off. Now you want to connect. In any case, if the system is log off, right click on the system and click log on. So automatically system gets logged in without entering the username and password. The reason being, when you right click on the system and if you click properties of the system, click on the properties. So already the username and password is stored over here. The username is HANA user and the password is W capital welcome 1234. If you remove the password, you have to enter it manually. If you save and you click log on, automatically it will authenticate with the stored username and password. So let's click apply and OK. So if the password is not stored, right click log off, select system, right click, log on. So this time it's going to prompt for the password because we haven't stored. So the password is W capital welcome 1234 and click OK. So we logged into HANA. So we logged into HANA system. So let's go back to MS Paint. So the user for HANA is HANA user and password is W capital welcome 1234. So what is the UI for HANA? The UI is HANA Studio. What is the UI for MS SQL? SQL Server Management Studio. What is the UI for ECC? SAP GUI. So each application has a different UI. ECC, SAP GUI, Graphical User Interface, MS SQL, SQL Server Management Studio, and HANA, HANA Studio. And now let's move on to the data provisioning. So the data provisioning, so coming to the data provisioning. So the data provisioning, the first one is the SLT. I'm just trying to show you how to log into various applications and their usernames and passwords. So type in SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation. The username and password for SLT, the username is Surya and the password for SLT is S capital URYA 1234. In order to log into SLT, The transaction code is LTRC. So LTRC is a transaction code to log into SLT server. So let me just show you how to log into SLT. So SLT is on the ECC side. So if you want to log into SLT, again you have to log into ECC. Just provide the username and password. The same username and password. Surya, S capital URYA 1234. Enter. Continue with the logon. And enter the transaction code LTRC and click enter. So here you see LT replication server cockpit. So just to show you how the SLT will look, click data provisioning. Click on execute. So once you click on execute, so here you see different tables are being replicated to HANA. So all these are tables that are replicating to HANA. LT replication server cockpit, transaction code, LTRC. So to log into SLT, username Surya and password S capital URYA 1234. Now the second one is BODS, Business Objects Data Services. So BODS is an ETL tool. It extracts, transform, and load data to HANA system. So BODS has two user interfaces. It has two UIs. One is the designer. The second one is the workbench. So let me show you both the user interfaces. Now click on Start, click All Program, and click Data Services 4.2. Now you have Data Services Designer and Data Services Workbench. So you have two UIs. One is the designer. And the second one is workbench. So workbench is the new UI and the designer is the old UI. So you can use both the UIs, but for HANA, workbench is more optimized UI. The workbench is primarily used for HANA and designer for all the other applications. So I'll show you how to log into both of them. So for both of them, it has the same username and password. The username is the same Surya. The password is S capital URYA 1234. So this is the username and password for BODS. So let me log into the UI workbench first. Let's click on Start, click All Program, click SAP Data Services 4.2 and click Data Services Workbench. So once we click SAP Data Services Workbench, so provide the username. Username is Surya and the password S capital URYA 1234 and click Log On. So for the first time, When you log into the data services, you see a welcome page. So you see a welcome page for the first time when you log into data services workbench. Yes, you can close this and we can start doing exercises. So this is the UI for data services workbench. Now coming to the second one, which is the designer. Click start, click all program, click data services 4.2 and click data services designer. So we log into the designer, provide the username, Surya, and the password S capital URYA 1234 and click log on. So we are logging to a repository. A repository is nothing but a collection of metadata. Metadata is nothing but the containers to which the content is held. Nothing but the tables, only the structures are held in the repository. So I'm just logging into the repository. Double click on the repository. So our repository is DB200. So let me just see where the DB200 so that I can log into DB200. So I don't find DB200, so let me log into RIP007. So let's click log on. So when you practice, right? So when you're practicing these exercises, you can log into this repository, which is installation default repository. So we all practice exercises in this. So let me log into this BODS and enter the same password, the repository BODS, and enter the password BODS and click OK. And click continue. So we all will use the repository BODS as its repository when you log into the designer. A repository is nothing but its collection of metadata. And the password for the repository is again BODS. So repository has a password and the password is BODS. And the username for designer and workbench is Surya. The password is S capital URYA 1234. Now, in order to see DXC, the third one is DXC, direct extractor connection. So DXC is basically a service that is created by administrators. You can see whether the DXC service is active or not in the transaction code SM59. So DXC is a connection that is on the ECC. So once we log into the ECC, once you provide the username and password and enter the transaction code SM59, there we would see the connection active or not. So let me go back to ECC, which is Enterprise Central Component or Enterprise Core Component. Let's log on to ECC, provide the username and password, click continue, and enter the transaction code SM59, click enter So expand HTTP connections to external server. So you can see the connection, expand the connections. And if you scroll to the bottom, and here you would see DXC underscore RFC. Double click on this connection and click connection test to test whether the connection is functioning. To click response body. SAP HANA direct extractor connection service is up and running. So you can access DXC connection via SM59. So we'll see the other aspects of DXC when we discuss detailedly about DXC. But to access DXC connection SM59 on the ECC side. And the last one is the Smart Data Access. Smart Data Access can be accessed at the HANA Studio. So you can access Smart Data Access at the HANA Studio. So let's go to the HANA Studio. So this is the HANA Studio. So if you want to log into HANA Studio, again, click Start, click All Program, click SAP HANA, click SAP HANA Studio. So in today's session, I'm only focusing on how to access all the applications and their usernames and passwords. Right click on the system, click Log On, and provide the password. W capital welcome 1234 is the password, and click OK. So here you see provisioning. Expand the provisioning folder. Here you see Smart Data Access. Expand remote sources. So all these are different connections that we created. So you can connect to Hadoop. You can connect to MS SQL. If you want to see Smart Data Access can connect to how many databases, just right click on the remote source, click on new remote source, and all these are different sources where Smart Data Access can connect: ASC, Teradata, IQ, HANA, Hadoop, MS SQL, Netezza. So all these are different third-party source systems where Smart Data Access can connect. The Smart Data Access is available at the HANA Studio, and the username and password is same as HANA username and password, which is HANA user password welcome 1234. So we have seen the ECC, which is SAP source system, non-SAP source system, MS SQL, HANA target. At the data provisioning area, SLT, BODS, business objects data services, system landscape transformation or SAP landscape transformation, direct extractor connection, and Smart Data Access. And the last application that we have is the BOBI, Business Objects Business Intelligence Platform. So the data will flow from source using data provisioning to HANA, and then we connect the front end BOBI to HANA. So this is mainly a presentation layer where you can visualize data. In BOBI, you have different set of reporting tools. Let me show you few. In the BOBI, you have click Start, click All Program, click SAP Business Intelligence. So here you have Business Objects Analysis, Microsoft. So you can analyze data on Excel, you can analyze data on PowerPoint, you have Lumira. You can do data discovery, rich in visualization of data. So let me open SAP Lumira. So you have different set of tools in BOBI, Lumira, analysis for Office, analysis for OLAP, Crystal Reports Enterprise, Design Studio, SAP Lumira, Explorer. All these are different set of tools that can connect to SAP HANA. So you click Start. So it starts opening. So let me open the other ones. Click Design Studio. So this is to create dashboards. Click on Design Studio. It'll take some time to open this application. Let me end this task. It's not responding. So let me open Design Studio. So you can click Create Analysis Application. So you can design reports for iPad, iPhone, and you can do analysis, SAP Business Intelligence, Business Objects Analysis, Microsoft Excel. So you can do analysis in Microsoft Excel using Business Objects Analysis. So there are a set of tools where you can visualize data, Business Objects Analysis, edition for Microsoft Office. And then you have, let me go to the desktop, click on the desktop, show desktop. If you click on Tools folder, so you have Crystal Reports Enterprise, IDT, Information Design Tool. If you launch BA Launchpad, so this is the end user interface. Business Objects BA Launchpad is the end user interface. The password for this is Surya, S capital URYA 1234. This is for BOBI. So for BOBI, when you want to log into the BOBI Launchpad, use Surya, S capital URYA 1234. Let me log into BOBI. So let's log into the BOBI. So provide the username and password, S capital URYA 1234, and click log on. So once you click log on, so now you can access various set of reporting tools like analysis for OLAP, Web Intelligence, Explorer, Crystal Reports Enterprise. So all these reporting tools can connect to HANA. So click on Applications. So you see Analysis for OLAP, Crystal Reports Enterprise, Explorer, Web Intelligence. All these are different reporting tools where they can connect to SAP HANA. So for all these applications, the username and password is Surya, S capital URYA 1234. So this is on the source, and this is HANA. This is on the HANA. And this is on the data provisioning, and this one on the presentation layer. So also, if you see every day, so I'll just show you for a few batches over here. So you'll be given Dropbox access. So you'll be given a Dropbox access in there, where basically if you see, I'll just show you. So we kept all the classes over here. So every day, all the recordings will be recorded over here. We'll be recording all the recordings on a daily basis and upload to a shared drive